My guest for the morning is Adam Mutawakilu. He's a member of parliament for Dumsor, and thanks for joining me. He's also an accountant by profession.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
All right, thanks for joining me, and I'm very grateful. I love your hat. If you wear it this way, what does it mean?
No, this one is not the Gunja.
It's not a traditional.
It's a traditional one.
Not a
if it is the traditional one, the direction I wear it.
Okay. What direction would you have worn the traditional one?
This way.
Which would mean that you are just ordinary.
Yes. If you bring it this way, that means that nobody, you are powerful.
You're powerful. You're powerful in what terms?
In the traditional setting, somebody can try you.
Try you. All right. I'll ask you backstage what the other things mean. But thanks for joining me, and I'm grateful. You're a member of Parliament's Energy Committee.
Energy. Now I have more interest in energy than accounting.
Yes, I see that each time you're asked the subject of energy, you seem to have a lot more information.
Yes.
And don't be distracted by Dumsor. Government is working on other sectors as well. And the president apparently has, the last few days I've noticed, been going around commissioning and inspecting projects. And yesterday was on the Soung Saham Road.
Yes.
And I hear there's a small section that needs to be completed. And apparently they're working on it. And now the media is not complaining about it. But we just want to talk about it. Because the president says that I know that the focus of most Ghanaians is on the power situation, which he says his government is working hard to resolve. But while people are distracted by the power crisis, he appeals that a lot more work is going on in the road sector in providing good quality water for drinking for communities and improving healthcare. And so attention should also be drawn to that very segment as well. And the president reiterated that the government's commitment to road was insatiable, because over the next 5 years, starting from last year, they started doing a number of investments, $1 billion in investments, including the counterpart funding from the Cocoa Roads fund or project, so to speak. And so that makes it a very huge issue. And but the energy crisis is a huge subject. Where have you reached now as far as trying to find the solutions? The last time your government was not able to meet the deadline, you had to shift from April to September.
Thank you very much. Good morning to our cherished viewers, and more especially the good people of Dumsor constituency. Yeah, the energy situation is being tackled head on. The Minister for Power was in the Western region to monitor Emery Energy, which we just passed in Parliament. The platform is being raised, progress so far, and to see visited other places like ECG to ensure that things are going on right. So the energy situation, inshallah, the progress so far is good, and we hope that by the end of the year, Dumsor will be a thing of the past forever and ever. And government is working on, the budgets have been worked on by September. The platform is being raised to take in.
Is the platform being raised?
Yes.
In what form is it going to take?
You know, when it comes, it's a badge, it will be on the sea. So there is a need to evacuate the power from the badges to the national grid. So Gridco, they need to construct the takeoff point so that it will be connected and then transmitted into the national grid for us to. So government is on track, and Ghanaians should be patient with them. We know that, and the president has reiterated the effect it has on businesses, barbers, hairdressers, our tailors, and big industries and micro industries. So we just plead that the government is on track and will deliver it and fix it forever and ever.
At what point would we say that, the timelines that have been given that have not been fulfilled, this one is going to be met?
Yeah, the deadline was delayed because of certain administrative processes. For example, they needed a guarantee, which took some time. And you realize that when like the badges, when the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation is providing the guarantee of 50 million, then another 50 million, there was an issue from the minority in respect of it not going to Parliament for approval. And therefore, there was the need for due diligence to be done. And finally, it became clear that we have a term called alter ego, and that they were now contravening whatever they were doing, and therefore could go ahead. Now it has been, guarantee has been executed, given, and therefore there is a smooth flow. So that was the process whereby it has to delay, because as a responsible government, we know that any consensus raise must be looked at critically to ensure that value for money is achieved, and therefore we do not break the law. And it was done. That delayed the whole process. But now everything has been done. Ghana National Petroleum Corporation has provided a guarantee. The manufacturers have assured us by September we'll have the badges here. So now everything is set. Granted
that the badges are in, and we have the medium to long-term aspirations as far as the strategy and implementation of the whole infrastructure is concerned, with the IPPs and the other partnerships that we have. Yeah. How is this going to influence pricing? Does it mean that because it's through private sector participation, it means that commercially we're going to have prices going to be increased for the ordinary consumer? Actually,
every IPP or VRA have an agreement with PURC to set the tariffs. So it is not like tariff cut across all. So if you go to Asogli, they have their tariffs. So in the power purchasing agreement, the tariffs are agreed.
And they agreed percents on per kilowatt or what?
Yeah, a certain cent dollars per kilowatt hours generated. Depending on the fueling. When the fueling is less costly, assuming you use light crude oil, then you switch to gas. PURC can call for negotiation in the reduction of the tariffs. But it's not cut across. What VRA charges is different from what the IPP, even within the IPPs, there are differences, yes, depending on the certain indicators, what they will be used, the fueling.
I do understand that, but that's with the generator, the Volta River Authority, so to be the off-taker, is that not it?
Yes.
No, who is the off-taker?
Most often, the Volta River Authority can
the off-taker, can be the off-taker. In this instance,
the GridCo then supply ECG.
Okay.
ECG now supply.
But in the agreement, who becomes the off-taker?
It depends. It depends. But mostly VRA enter into agreement. ECG sometimes also enter into agreement. Yes. But PURC played a significant role.
Is government still paying subsidies on or subsidizing what we pay by energy to the? Is it the generators of energy, VRA and the other IP?
Yes. Why? Because when there is an increment and government realizes that it will be a huge burden to the ordinary Ghanaian, we come with interventions. And the interventions is a form of subsidy to subsidize. And to be very frank, most of the generating plants or the companies, they are doing under recovery. What they want to charge, they are not able to charge that. And therefore, government intervention is critical. And as a social democratic government, it was our duty to ensure that there is power to every hamlet. And therefore, the people must have the opportunity to be able to pay and enjoy it. So we are going, rural electrification is seriously going on, while we make sure that at least they should be able to enjoy and then watch what we are here doing. Without electricity, it becomes difficult. And so that the citizens of the country become more enlightened. And in education-wise, if you want to pass information, it becomes much more easier. So the other side of it is very good. While you are extending electricity, you are exposing the people, education and other things, whatever you want to do, they can easily follow up.
So you're saying it means that
there's a lot of drive benefit from increasing
But overall, I asked an issue of pricing and how that is going to influence what people pay. And, especially when now we're going to have a lot of private sector participation, or we're already going to have increased private sector participation, just because we're not going to rely a lot more on hydro. But we're going to look at other thermal sources of energy provision. Yeah,
that is what I'm saying. The pricing
is agree with the PRC.
Is the PRC plays a significant role.
Can you concretely say that prices are not going to be astronomical, especially from September, because of we're having a special badge being built for us at a very high cost, so to speak.
It has already been agreed in the power purchasing agreement.
We know.
It's already agreed. So periodically, as their cost of production increases, they refer to PURC for increase in tariffs. PURC will do its own arithmetics, do consultation, stakeholders consultation. So during the stakeholders consultation, there is where Ghanaians are enlightened as to why they should. So for increment, you cannot say no. I cannot sit down here and say no, there won't be an increment, because I don't know all the ingredients that goes into determining the price. So PURC play a significant role, and the engagement of PURC with the relevant stakeholders is very, very critical in determining the price.
In Parliament, are you tracking these things, even though you've approved the power purchasing agreement, etc.?
Yeah.
Are you tracking the development as a committee, for
Yes.
example?
Yes.
Are you tracking the development,
Yes.
or the production of the badges and when they will come in, and even the local platforms that need to be built as far as infrastructure is concerned before the badges dock?
The Parliamentary Select Committee don't do daily checks.
Because that's not your work.
That is not. But
You get
once in a while, we invite them.
So you
we
get
invite the
periodic
Ministry
updates.
of Power to brief us. We invite VRA, we invite ECG, we invite GRICO to brief us as to what they are doing and the master plan they have. So based on that, we are able to monitor them. PURC, we have invite them to brief whenever there is a price increase. We ensure that we invite them over to be able to brief us why the increment, and if they convince us beyond, we advise them, which they do normally, to ensure that they contact other stakeholders and enlighten them on what they want to do. And it's very, very critical for us. Yeah.
So you're sure the badges will come in September?
Inshallah, the badges will
How
come.
many badges are coming?
We have 225 coming in by September. By the end of the year, another 225, making it 450. Emery Energy will bring in 250 megawatts. So in all, we'll be having about 700 megawatts emergency, while General Electric, the government is still in the process to add in more 300 megawatts. So in the short term, very short term, we expect 1,000 megawatts to be added to the national grid. So we hope that, and other power purchasing agreement has been signed, like Jacobson, Amadi, they are coming in. We know that Asogli Phase 2 will be on stream very soon. There is a coal plant that is coming up. So we believe that in due course, the president's target of achieving 3,665 megawatts in the next 3 to 4 years will bring sufficient power for us to meet our daily demand, meet the reserve margin, and even have idle plants, such that as and when a plant is undergoing routine maintenance, there is another one to substitute in to ensure a continuous flow of power.
Adam Mutawakilu, you can surely bet the one you give him the platform, he'll give you all the facts as they are. And thanks for joining me. We're still here on the AM show. We're looking at subjects of discussion on the segment The AM Talk. We'll be joined by Boniface Gambila, and he is a member of parliament for NAPDAM, a member of the MPP as well. Now we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll be looking at a number of issues. The MPP, they've got real problems. How are they resolving it? But also, there's just been an outbreak of avian influenza in poultry beds, and we're going to look at that very subject as well. So do stay on. We'll have a little more to talk about. Member of Parliament for NAPDAM, member of the MPP, and Boniface Gambila, a former executive director for, is he executive secretary? For the National Service
Executive Director.
Executive
it's not
Director.
the new name. Yeah.
Yes, it's not the new name. What was it when you were there?
We just had Director.
Director. Director for the National Service Scheme. Executive Director. That's a big position he occupied for a very long time. And thanks for joining me. We're just speaking on the subject of energy. The President seemed to think that people are focusing too much on energy. Just 2 minutes on it, but he says other infrastructural projects are going on, especially when you go up north. For example, the Tumu Road, I know that a number of work is ongoing on that very road. So we only seem to be focusing on what energy is and its unavailability and things like that.
Energy is a utility that you can say very important, like water. Those things things that directly impact on daily life, you have to put value on them, and you have to focus on them. So as for the other things like roads, hospitals, and whatever construction, infrastructure, generally they are the things that normally everybody is required to do. So if you don't do the roads and you are a government, of what use were you voted into power? And even fortunately, or whatever, fortunately, if you quote President Mahama himself said, there's mediocre and excess in mediocrity. If you say you are doing roads and you are doing hospitals, and he says so, that those are normal government business. So even at local government level, yes, assemblies will have to do schools. That is what we pay our taxes for.
So you say they are normal things?
They are normal. John Mahama himself said so. Not me.
I'm asking you.
Quoting him. They are normal.
Don't
yes.
quote John Mahama.
I
you think they're normal things?
No, I
building
quote
roads,
to back it up.
They're huge capital-intensive projects. Are you saying they are just normal building roads? Communities are
when we say
roads.
normal, we are saying what you ought to do.
Okay.
So why do you come to power? Why do you
part of your mandate.
That is it. It's something you got to do. You are feeding your family daily, then you say, praise me for feeding my family. We are talking where power dies off for 3 years, 4 years, and you take steps, bring in the machines, give the money to VRA to produce power. All the thermal plants must be running before the other projects come on. Why should during somebody's term, power was running whilst the other projects were going on? That is what we are saying. People have died now, 3 years. Children have died in hospital. Jobs have been collapsing. Manufacturing has fallen. Agriculture, nothing to talk about. That is what we are saying. We want to see the resilience, the competency in it. So already the bottom line is the incompetency has been established. But good work, the good thing is following up the issues, taking these big loans and bringing the infrastructure. Good. So that is it. But the bottom line deficiency has been established. People have died.
We'll hear for...
So it's good.
You wanted to say something. You had a lot of...